That was I Should Be Leaving Soon by American Football, their 1991 album debut, American Football. I recently got a bumper sticker for my car that basically says "Keep honking, I'm crying" to American Football's 1999 self-titled debut album. I have a bunch of weird stickers on my car. I recently bought one that's like "Keep honking, listen to J.R.R. Tolkien's 1968 BBC rendition of, I think it's The Hobbit. I don't know. I really do like that version of The Hobbit. And obviously, the first track you heard was The Disruption from the 2024 album You'll Have to Lose Something by Spirit of the Beehive. Been listening to a lot of their music recently. Really good Philadelphia-based indie pop music. I think I'm just a real sucker for indie pop. Yeah, I mean that's one of my guilty pleasures. But my main guilty pleasure is listening to like Britney Spears and that trashy 2010 2000s indie pop music. Yeah. Good afternoon, listeners of Coffee Noise. I'm your host, DJ Marlin. And if you can't believe it, it's Tuesday once again. How are we doing out there, listeners? Remember, listeners, this week you can already start registering for classes. Last Friday, I did register for my classes for graduate school. I have signed up for 3 classes going for political science. The classes I signed up for are, if I can remember to search this up, Monday would be U.S. Economic Policy, 5 to 7:30. Tuesday, Class Power in the State from 5 to 7:30. And then Wednesday, Gender Theory and World Politics, 5 to 7:30. All of them in the Liberal Arts Building South. So once again, listeners, I'll be in the same building basically for my entire study. That's kind of cool. At least I'll know. At least I'll never get lost. Hopefully so. I mean, I've been to that building so many times already. I go there, let's say, every week. Yeah, at least once a day actually now. So that's fun. And Thursdays twice a day. So that's also kind of fun at the same time. But yeah, so I believe yesterday was for yesterday was for senior students. Today, I don't know how the ranking goes. But yeah, be sure to lock in for your schedules for the spring 25 semester. And hopefully I'll be able to see a few of you students on campus. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really like seeing people that much. Anyways, let's get a quick look of today's weather. Right now in the city of Edinburgh, we're looking at a high of 89 degrees. Right now it is 89 degrees with a high of 91 and a low of 72 degrees. So it's a very nice, comfortable weather. I decided to wear a slightly oversized, vintage-looking crew neck from NTS Radio. Shout out to them. I like their music. This morning, I was actually somewhat meditating to the NTS Guide to, I think it was like Americana Ambient Volume 2. Really comfort music. I can find myself on to sleep to that, but also maybe for meditating. You see that, listeners? You gotta meditate here and there. I mean, in high school, it kind of talked a lot of smack about meditation. It's like, oh, it's a bunch of hippie nonsense. But no, actually, it's pretty good. I found myself liking it a lot. Was not expecting that, but you gotta try something new every single day. So that's one of the new things I did, and I am very much enjoying it, listeners. Very much indeed. I've also started using one of those meditation apps. One meditation I've been using to fall asleep, and it actually works pretty good. I was actually surprised. I usually don't like hippies at all, but for that, pretty good. I really like that. I really do. Anyway, listeners, let's get to the next track right now. This is Wide Open Wound by the American hardcore band from California, Nails. All right, let's get into it. Back, you try here. I tried doing like a clean transition between Nails' Wide Open Wound to Ginger Bees' Our Sky Smile, and then finishing off with Friends Who Sit and Breathe by Crochet. Although I'm not that good at transitioning yet, I thought I figured out how to, but apparently not. So, listeners, that's something I need to work on too. Last 2 tracks, well, the first track is more of more your classic 2010s American hardcore. What you might listen to a lot to lately, Nail and obviously Gulch. I was listening to their album earlier when I was working out. But the last 2 tracks, I think you would be able to consider them as fifth wave emo. Ginger Bee is more of a screamo, scrams band. For the general public, probably don't know what that means. I'm a pretty big music nerd, and Bandcamp, Rate Your Music, and what's off the top of my head? Um, I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, I've been listening to Ginger Bee a lot. My I saw a funny meme earlier when you're on a date with like your girlfriend and your Midwestern emo playlist starts playing. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna hang out with my girlfriend, or I'm gonna go on a date with my girlfriend on the 9th, and I'll probably be playing my Midwestern emo playlist. Hopefully that does not scare her off, but shout out to my girlfriend Ashley. Love you very much, hon. Let's see. Off the top of my head, what was I thinking about? Caffeine. Let's talk about caffeine, listeners. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. Um, Obviously, there's a health-related effect. I mean, I'm drinking a caffeine drink here, and it says, only intended for persons 18 years or older. But let's be honest, like, how many kids do you see buying an energy drink at the store? I mean, you see it often. Well, I'm an adult, I'm responsible for 21 years old. There is a bit of me, it's like, maybe kids shouldn't be drinking this. I'm an adult, but, a kid beneath the age of 16, yeah, 18, you can't really understand the effects of caffeine. So hopefully a bit more stores start doing a bit more of a, I guess you could say a crackdown on kids taking caffeine. Hopefully so, because, wow, this caffeine, one fun drink. Especially when you get like your favorite flavor. I was trying this grape flavor, Welch's grape flavor. Really good. Very good. It reminds me of a like a diet grape soda. That'll be the closest thing I can compare it to. But like a good flavored diet soda. Like sometimes, I don't know. I wonder if the listeners can help me out there. Is there any good diet grape sodas you all recommend? Because it's difficult to find one. I mean, regular grape soda already tastes, I wouldn't say nasty, but has a very weird, very sugary flavor. It's like, I don't like that. Well, diet grape soda, it's missing that punch that regular full sugar soda has. So the listeners out there can recommend me a good alternative to that. I would highly look into it. But yeah, I just like diet grape soda. Anyways, let's get into the next track right now. We're gonna throw it back to the 90s. There was an interview with our word with Jack Harlow. He something about how his teacher would play Slint a lot. So this is Slint, Glenn Sparline outtakes. This is from their I believe there's a remastered album. So this is Glenn. All right, listeners, and we are back. It is 4:30 to start the second half of the day. If you cannot tell, I have allergies again. I've taken, I think, 2 Claritins today. That's always fun. Thankfully, I'm not sick. I got myself tested. Just bad allergies, which is fun. Not really. It's kind of difficult to sleep at night. But then again, last night I did a lot of like school reading, and which I'm still doing. I have a class tonight at 7:55. My philosophy propaganda class. Shout out to Professor Wimberly over there in the education building complex, whatever it's called. Let's see. Yesterday we did have the new album by Tyler, the Creator, his 8th studio album, Chromacopia. I have not gotten around to listening it in full. I was going to last night, but I fell asleep, so hopefully later tonight on the bus ride home, put on my headphones and listen to it fully. I think it's like 40 minutes, maybe 50 minutes at max, so definitely be able to listen to that. Also, listeners, this Thursday, it is Halloween, so for those who are celebrating, obviously, do so in a safe manner. Me, on the other hand, I will be at work. That's right, I have to go to work that day. So I'm going to have to drive my car here. I park it at Walmart, and then have my classes. Then I'm going to leave my 2:30 class, my 2 o'clock class a bit early, because I have to walk back to Walmart, get in my car, drive back to Harlingen, have my clothes in the car already, because I am scheduled to go in at 4. I told my manager at max I'll be at like a 4:30, because it's around like a 50 minute drive. I take the back roads, which is very nice and calming, but time crunch. But you know what, I'll do it. I recently got my promotion at work, so I'm a team leader, so I had to wear a polo, which I'm not against. I like wearing the polo, but I look kind of, I'll say, goofy in it. I don't really wear polos in general. So I still have to get used to it. maybe eventually he'll come around to me. It's like, okay, this is normal. This is what I'm supposed to wear. This is what a quote quote somewhat assistant manager is supposed to look like. But I don't know. When I saw to do some training, I got to learn how to do what's it called, customer complaints training, and I think I have to do training on closing registers, like near the end of the night and opening up in the morning. So I'll definitely be working on that. But yeah, working at working on Halloween, so hopefully everything goes smoothly. Apparently we're gonna be really packed that day. So you know what? Before I do leave, I'll be going to the store and probably buying 2 cans of energy drinks because it's gonna be a long shift for me, and I'll be on a few hours of sleep, and I would need that energy for work. So hopefully it works out for me. Hopefully so. Let's start with the next 2 tracks right now. Both of them from the independent record Cell House Records. The first track we have is Cine by KMRU, and then we're going to be finishing up with a track by Prospect by Jogging House. Excuse me. I've been really liking Sailing House's discography recently. I think they're one of my favorite ambient record labels. Would highly recommend if the listeners go check them out on Bandcamp. I think all their albums are also available on streaming. But if I'm correct, I think they come out on Bandcamp first and then on streaming. So it's great independent record label. And yeah, let's get into the track. This is Cine by KMRU. And that was Prospect by Jogging House off their album Rendezvous. Yeah, just sometimes you just gotta listen to some classic ambient music, some calming music. It really does help with studying. But also, listeners, interesting enough, ambient music is also really good for what's it called? Sometimes when you're in a rush in a car and then you're almost close to driving over the speed limit, it really does calm you down. Once I felt like I was going to be late to work. I was already late as it is, and anything over 30 minutes, I already get like written up already. So I was like, okay, I'm stressing out. Okay, I think I put on, I think it was Replica by One Tricks Point Never, and I was like, oh, I feel calm now. I was still late, but I was only 28 minutes late, not 30 minutes late, so did not get a write up. That was at my old job. When I used to work at the call center. That was in my, let me see, first year of college. Oh, wow. About 3 years ago. Yeah, ain't that something? That was a nice job, but it was like, yeah, a lot of people complain about phone plans. It's almost hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll complain and then they want the newest iPhone. It's like, okay, we can get you a new iPhone. And then, you would say, okay, looking at here, you got to put down basically the entire phone up front. It's like, well, I have perfect credit. It's like, not according to my end, buddy. I never said the whole thing with people when, like, every year a new iPhone comes out, they have to get it. It's like, you have the iPhone 15. Do you really need to upgrade to the 16? Is it a necessity or is it just a want? Because if it's just a want, you don't need it. Spend your money wisely. I really can't say I spend my money wisely. I spend my money on a bunch of like band T-shirts and whatnot. But I'm not out here spending out the new iPhone. I only bought a new iPhone last year because my old 11 was messing up on me. I even took it to the repair shop. They didn't even know what was the problem with what it was. I thought it was the battery failing, and then they checked the system, the hard drive, and was like, no, your phone should be working, but it's failing. It's like, okay, great. So I'm out of a phone, so I have to buy a new one. So I currently have the 14 Plus, I think. I don't know. For me, this is a good phone. I don't have no reason to buy like a 15 or a 16. This will probably last me until like the iPhone 19, whenever that comes out. So that'll be like, what, 3 years down the line? If anything, if I really wanted to buy a new iPhone, I'd probably wait till I finish grad school, get my master's. And that would be in 2026 or 27, depending on if I want to do full-time or part-time. More than likely going to do full-time, so that's 3 classes a semester. So probably by the end of 2026, I'll buy a new phone. But that's down the line. I don't really need a phone right now. My phone works perfectly fine right now. All I need my phone to do is make a few calls, listen to my music and podcast, and occasionally order something off Amazon and order something offline or check my emails. That's it. I never understood the whole thing where people can have so many apps on their phones. I mean, I have a decent amount of apps, but they're like only utility tools or like field recording or an alarm clock app, which I use a lot because the regular stock iPhone alarm doesn't really wake me up. So I've been using this other app. I forgot the name of it, but like forces you to wake up, makes you do some morning tasks, and I was like, oh, this is nice. I really like this. This gets me up and awake. But yeah. Anyways, let's toss back to the early 2010s. To the I wouldn't say short-lived, but it's kind of underground genre, black gaze, mixing in black metal with shoegaze. This is Dreamhouse by Death Heaven off their album, the 2013 album, Sunbather. And we are back. It is 4:58, listeners. I'm about to finish up this week's show. Today's show was really good. Today was actually show 49, and next week will be the 50th show I'll be doing, so that's kind of cool. Also, last thing to the listeners out there, remember it is currently voting season, so engage with your democratic process. Go out there and vote. We have polling stations here on campus, and go to your local elections. Vote locally. Shout out to local elections. And let's see. This week's playlist is always available. You can find the playlist on both Apple Music and Spotify. You can follow me on Instagram at Watford2003. And final thoughts for today. I had vanilla Greek yogurt this morning. Really good. I wish I put blueberries in it, though. That would have smacked. Anyways, I'm your host, DJ Marlin. This was Coffee Notes. Remember, you're listening to Vaquero Radio, the Valley's only student station. I'll see you around next week. All right. Bye-bye.